on the button. Alright, Nintendo owns the Legend of Zelda series. So, link in the description is a video about a game theory. Or better yet, a game theory there. It's about Link being dead in Majora's Mask, specifically after he fell down that long hole. Now, the issue with this is the hero's shade. Sorry, I almost messed up and jumped ahead. The Hero Shade is a character which actually happens to be Hero of Time Link, the one in Majora's Mask. Also Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask being a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time. In the Child's Timeline specifically. In fact, may I emphasize, Child's Timeline, because first issue with the Hero Shade, it is child timeline, not adult timeline. The shade looks like an adult. Admittedly, it looks taller than Link was as an adult, but I admit, this is the weakest of the arguments, seeing as it's a shade that implies a ghostly form. I unfortunately didn't play the dang game. I'd like to, but fun fact, Majora's Mask was the first Legend of Zelda game I played. So, with the idea of it being a more spiritual form of undead rather than a corporeal form of undead, at that point it's reasonable that its size could be subjective. It could be remembering being an adult. After all, that's when it began, and that's its big problem with existence, is no one remembers that. No one learned from that. Whatever. In fact, well, that's actually my third point. More on that in a moment. The second problem is... Second, not third, sorry, the other finger was up and now, apparently. So, the second problem is, again, child timeline. What, did he and Sarah get randy? As much as I do read the possibility of romantic subtext there, it seems to me they are firmly childhood friendship. Perhaps even brother-sister relationship, non-biologically speaking. But, let's be honest, for the most part, really any shipping that happens is just simply because they're too dang close to not have shipping. When we of the internet and nerdiness will ship even the most bitterest enemies, it makes no mistake that somebody that actually obviously cares a lot about a certain character is going to get shipped with that character and will actually have a good argument for it. But, certain things like that aside, especially things as that brings up certain questions about when he's an adult, we are going to move on to the third problem. The one that makes us all even more contradictory is, supposedly at the end of Majora's Mask, he finds acceptance. Now, admittedly, this one could be argued that he, at some point, lost acceptance because he realized what kind of a deal he just got served, but as I understand it, the one in Twilight Princess is supposed to be rather unhappy about the fact either nobody remembered it, nobody learned from him. I think it was actually a bit of both. Again, I haven't watched it. Someday I really need to see a YouTube video of that just so that way I can see that bit. But we have something that's just undefendable. These three issues all come together to make it out that this can't be Link dying. May I point out, on the whole theory that he died because, well, nice long drop, but the issue is, it's probably a portal. We're probably not even talking about the same planet Hyrule's on, and if we are, that's only in a, alternate universe type way. Yeah, sure, it might be another part of the world, but that doesn't mean he still didn't fall into a portal. It was a portal to the other side of the planet. Why not? The simple fact of the matter is, these 4 points all come together to burn out the theory. Some are stronger than others, but the fact of the matter is, the Hero Shade hint, do this. It was probably a portal, and an interesting theory, but quite frankly, just because the game has themes about death and buys into it rather deeply, does not mean your character has to die or be dead. Harry Potter, for example. Yes, Harry did die. Oops, spoiler. But, well, in the words of that one guy from Monty Python, I got better. Just because it's about death does not mean your protagonist has to die, or if he does die, does not mean he has to stay dead. It just means the story features death prominently. So, this has been Rage the Wolf returning to Kindles.